Hello, my name is Kaitlyn Burks, and today we are going to look at the integration of literacy strategies in the school library. Here's a little about me. I'm a student in the LITE program at Western Kentucky University. I've taught first grade for 5 years, and throughout my experience in the classroom and throughout the LITE program, I've learned a lot about literacy. So what are we going to be learning today? Today, we are going to focus on how literacy and literature-based activities can be used within the School Library Media Center to support young adults in middle and high schools. Some of the strategies discussed today can also be revised to work in the elementary school library. We will first dive into the definition of literacy and a few of the different types of literacies that are important for young adults. Next, we will discuss different styles of instruction for implementing literacy-based activities in the school library, such as whole group instruction, independent reading, and small group learning. We will look at some different examples and strategies for each type of instruction. Finally, we will do a follow-up activity. What is literacy? Literacy goes beyond simply being able to read and write. According to the American Library Association, literacy is the ability to identify, understand, interpret, create, communicate, and compute using printed and written materials associated with varying contexts. Literacy involves a continuum of learning in enabling individuals to achieve their goals, to develop their knowledge and potential, and to participate in their community and wider society. The American Library Association's Literacy Clearinghouse website goes deeper into the many types of literacies. Here is the link to the website if you would like to look deeper into the different types of literacies. So if you go here, you can see their homepage, and then as you scroll down, you can see the different types of literacies, target populations, and many supporting resources. The two types of literacy that we'll primarily focus on today are traditional literacy and digital literacy. Traditional literacy uses the science of reading, teaching about phonological awareness, phonics and word recognition, fluency, vocabulary, and oral language comprehension, and text comprehension. Building these skills in young readers and continuing to build these skills into young adulthood can help readers build a deeper understanding of the books that students are reading. Many people don't think about the word recognition side when it comes to middle and high school students, but many struggling readers may benefit from direct instruction in these areas to help support text comprehension. These skills are all connected to help students become skilled readers. Scarborough's reading group is a visual example of how language comprehension and word recognition work together. We will also look at some digital literacy today. According to the American Library Association's Digital Literacy Task Force, digital literacy is the ability to use information and communication technologies to find, evaluate, create, and communicate information, requiring both cognitive and technical skills. With the increase of digital resources available for students, especially young adults, digital literacy is an important skill to intentionally teach and integrate into lessons within the school library. Book trailers are one way to help encourage reading in middle and high school libraries. Students can create engaging book trailers that encourage their peers to read. In a book trailer, students will use online Web 2.0 tools such as Animoto, iMovie, or screencasting tools to create an advertisement for a book that they read and enjoyed. The book trailer's purpose is to convince others to read the story, so students will not want to give away any plot details that would spoil the ending for other students in the class. The students can share their book trailers with other students using online tools such as the Google Drive and email. I've included a link to a book trailer that I created in a previous course. I was able to share this book trailer with students in the school. I noticed this book was borrowed from my classroom library more frequently after the students viewed the book trailer. If you click here, you can watch my book trailer. Now, let's look at whole group strategies and activities, and specifically read-alouds. While many people associate read-alouds with elementary school library programs, they are beneficial to young adults in middle and high school as well. Read-alouds build knowledge and interest in new topics, engage students in the stories, introduce students to new genres and authors, and they model fluent reading and expressive reading. Read-alouds also support your struggling and striving readers that may struggle with reading comprehension while reading the text independently. Read-alouds are also a strategy that can be used to help encourage whole class discussions. These discussions should have a topic and allow students to share their perspectives, thoughts, and views in a safe learning environment. Graphic organizers can be used during whole group read-alouds to help keep students engaged in the lesson. Graphic organizers can be used to help show relationships within the stories, develop timelines, and show cause and effect. Teachers can also create their own graphic organizers using online tools such as Canva. Next, we will look at small group learning activities and strategies. Small groups can be used in the School Library Media Center to promote collaboration and critical thinking. Literature circles are one strategy and activity that we're going to look at. When students participate in literature circles, they work in small groups with their peers to read the same book together and then discuss what they have read. Now, this is a little broad because literature circles can be implemented in many different ways. So there's some flexibility to make a literature circle fit in your classroom or your school library. You can help this fit a specific unit or just the lesson of the day. One way you can conduct literature circles is to select various books on similar topics for your different groups of students. And each group of students can read their book and then have the class come together as a whole group to discuss each story. They can compare and contrast the stories and determine how each book fits with the theme or the topic of the literature circle. Author studies are another activity that can be used in small groups. Different groups of students can be assigned different authors to research and then share what they have learned with their classmates through a presentation at the end. Students should be offered a choice in how they create their presentations. This is a good opportunity to also tie in digital literacy skills within your school library. When you're planning your author studies, it's important to pick authors that have various titles and not just a couple of titles. You should have authors that represent different genres, and it's important to align your activities with the curriculum. All right, let's look at some strategies and activities to support independent reading. School library programs can support students independently reading. It's important for students to respond to independent reading in various ways to help deepen their understanding of what is being read. Students can participate in these activities before, during, and after reading. These activities can be paired with required readings for class or with books that they chose on their own for fun and leisure reading. The following activities are only a brief look into some of the ways that students can respond to their reading while reading independently. Literature logs are used to have students stop and write their thoughts during reading. Literature logs are not bound to formal writing, and students can respond with bulleted lists, pictures, or a mind map. Literature logs can be used to help students complete projects about the books they're reading in class, to help guide whole group instruction, or just as a formative assessment at the end of the class period. Free writings are completed immediately after reading. During free writing time, students are given the opportunity to write their thoughts about what they read in class for about 5 minutes after they read. After writing, students can come together and share what they wrote in small groups, through whole class discussions, or again, these can be used as a formative assessment at the end of class. Graffiti boards can be implemented before, during, or after reading. These can be implemented in various ways. Teachers can use a large sheet of paper, a dry erase board, or a digital Jamboard to create a place for students to write ideas about the books that they're reading. Again, these are not bound by formal writing strategies. Students can use this board to make connections to their peers' books. They can see how different titles and genres are similar and how they're different. Webbing and charting can also be used within the graffiti board to help students make these connections. Teachers and school librarians can use these to get a general idea of the students' understanding of what they read. Thank you for watching my professional development presentation. I hope you are able to use these strategies in your school library media center. You are now ready to complete the follow-up activity. So if you click the link, it will bring you to a Canva activity. You can either make a copy of this sheet or you can edit this template. If you want to make your own copy, you'll find File on the top left. You'll click there and click Make a Copy. If you need to zoom in, you can find this bar down here that has a percentage, and you can zoom it in to your desired view. There are 3 little activities that I'd like for you to finish. First, I would like for you to describe one small group literature-based activity or strategy that you could use next year, either in your classroom or in the future in the school library. Then, I want you to reflect. What was your biggest takeaway from this professional development presentation? What did you like? Was there anything that you disliked? And finally, I would like for you to make a connection. Select a book to read. This can be one that you want to read for leisure, for fun, or one of the books for class. Choose one of the following activities to complete: a literature log or a 5-minute free write. You can type all of your responses in the boxes here. If you double-click and highlight where it says type your response here, you can delete that and type your own response. If this is not enough room for you to type, you can go down here to the bottom where it says Add Page, and then you can copy and paste the text box to your desired look. I hope that you enjoy this follow-up activity. Here are the references that were used in creating this presentation. And I also wanted to share my book trailer with you here at the end. I hope you enjoy. The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. Vashti has a problem. She can't draw. She is a little afraid of making a mark on her paper. With some encouraging words from her teacher, Vashti gives her paper a jab and draws a dot. This one brave act opens a new door for Vashti. Who knew one dot could take her so many places? How can Vashti use the kind words of her teacher to help encourage herself and others? Find out in The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. Pick it up and read it today. The Dot won the Andrew Carnegie Medal in 2005. If you like The Dot, Peter H. Reynolds has even more great stories that he wrote and illustrated. Be You, Ish, Rose's Garden, Sky Color, Say Something, The North Star, The Word Collector, Happy Dreamer, and Our Table. Thank you for watching the book trailer today.